How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining this channel. And I also wanted to tell you that, there's a lot of things going on right now online, a lot of censorship, a lot of that kind of thing. So be sure that you write down my website, because if anything should happen around YouTube, you can find where I'm at by going to my website at athenajezik.com. So thank you for that. Today I want to talk to you about what it is that's happening all around the world and how we can begin to pull together and become the powerful human beings that we're meant to be, and to break out of this idea that we're victims and things like that. So I just wanted to start out by saying that if you can see the darkness in the world, if you can really see the darkness in the world and you understand what's going on in the darkness, that's because you belong in the light. People that cannot see what's going on, they're either ignoring it because they don't want to see it, or they just don't belong in the light. So there is going to be two camps that we're looking at, and it's important to understand that. I know we all want to see us all going together in one direction, and we want to see everybody being happy, but there are just some people that won't be in that space. They just don't understand it, and they don't want to learn, which is dangerous to the rest of us. So I wanted to break down a little bit more today and explain what has been going on so that you have a better understanding, so that you can find yourself in the light. First of all, there's patterns that go on, that how a person that's ill-willed or ill-intended will do in order to capture humanity and get them to follow what they want their narrative to be for the benefit of these few people that are calling themselves the elite. Part of what they do, or what they actually do, their playbook is first they want to demoralize the population. Now, we've seen a lot of demoralization happening with the face diapers that we've told to wear, and the fear that we're put out there with, and the shut-ins. That's very demoralizing. People have lost their jobs, people have lost their incomes, people have lost things. That's demoralizing. And that creates stress, and stress creates different conditions in the body that we've talked about a little bit. But there you go, you start being broken down a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit at a time. So the demoralization is where they start. And then what they want to do next is they want to cause a lot of destabilization. So they're going to destabilize what's going on. They're not going to tell you what's really happening. They're going to make it confusing to figure out what's happening. They're not sure of this, sure of that. Some stores are closing, some stores aren't. All of this, where the whole economy and our whole way of life is destabilized. That's been going on, and it's coming on. It's been going on for a long time, but we're just seeing it really pour on right now. Then what happens next is that they create a crisis. So what is this crisis that we're experiencing right now? Well, not to get really political, but this is what's going on. So if you have a problem with looking at what's going on, I'm not going to apologize for your problem. But we are having a problem with voter fraud. We have an election that we had, and there's a lot of confusion, a lot of destabilization in things that are supposed to work, and a crisis. And what you're seeing and what you're hearing is not what's really happening. It's the narrative that's being held on to by tooth and nail from people who have been accustomed to having control of the narrative, being able to feed you through the media what they want you to hear, and not really giving you an idea what's really happening or what their intentions are. So then we move into what we have happening, and that is the normalization. So then we get normalized into this new way of being, where it just gets worse from there, because there's talk about, everybody staying in their house for Thanksgiving, and then they want the neighbors to squawk on other people if they're in their house without masks on. You think this is a joke, but this is what they're really talking about on the side of immorality and no integrity. That's the people on that side. That's exactly what they're talking about, because they want to captivate you. They want to use humanity for their own ends and their own means. So what is going on is what's happening behind those scenes is that we're trying to get the middleman taken out, because the middlemen are what make the problem. in part. It is the middlemen, because we lose our ability to be powerful. We lose our ability to feel that we can make what we want to, and instead we fall into this little captivation routine of having to be told what to do, rather than standing up for what we know we want to do and what's right. So I've boiled it down after listening to a number of people talking and very insightful as far as taking what they're saying and bringing it inside myself so that I can see with a little bit clearer vision. And what I've come to recognize is that there's so much division and divisiveness going on that we haven't really analyzed what our problem really is. And I've come to the conclusion that the problem that we face it doesn't have anything to do about race, and it doesn't have anything to do about culture, and it doesn't have anything to do about religion, and it doesn't have anything to do about gender. What it does have to do with is that there is a total absence in society today. There's a total absence of understanding what it means with the foundational principles of being a free human being and being free people. We do not understand freedom, and that's why we're so willing to just jump with those little diapers and throw them on our face in fear, rather than taking some time to investigate and find out what's really going to happen, what's really going on, and use our reasoning and other things that we have in our capacity to find the truth of what is really happening. Now, what that takes, and I've talked about this before, is it takes discernment to do that. You have to be able to see what's right and what isn't right. You have to be able to discern it for yourself, because most people won't listen or won't hear what other people are telling them. It's really a thing where you have to go inside and you have to begin to develop the reasoning, and you have to start seeing where the triggers are, and where are the triggers, what are they about? Usually the triggers are about something that you're hearing that isn't in the framework of what you've been told. So when we can conquer that, we can begin to step into what a free people is, because free people have got to be informed. If you're not an informed individual, you're not going to be free, and you're not free. And the fight that we're having right now in the world, this is a global fight. It's about having freedom for humanity, where the middleman is gone, where we can self-realize, we have justice under the law for everybody, and that we're not being told what to do. We're maybe being suggested that it might be a good idea, but we're allowed to decide for ourselves what we want for ourselves in the way of choosing this or that. Because anytime something is mandated for you to do, then that takes your freedom away. If there's a mandate to put a diaper on your face, that's taking your rights away. So are you going to stand up for your rights, or are you going to allow a group of people that have other things in mind for your life to control what it is that you're going to be doing? And that's really where we are. And the reason people are so willing to follow orders in this is, one, they've got them choked up with fear, and two, they're not seeking out and using any kind of reasoning capacity whatsoever. They're so locked into fear that they cannot hear, they cannot see, they cannot experience anything until they get rid of that fear that they're being so controlled by. How do we come forward and become the empowered individuals that we are? You know, we are so powerful. There's so much to humanity. We've been so snuffed down for so long. We've been told so many lies for so long, for generation after generation, that we don't even realize how much power we have. But that day is coming. That day is coming. It's right around the corner, and I can speak that with a lot of confidence, because I do pay attention to what's happening. And the lies can only hold on for so long. So what I am working really hard to help you see the path to that is by getting in touch with your body, beginning to move your body in ways, learn movement, learn different patterns, learn different thought processes, come to understand your body, take care of it, honor it, heal it. And then your mind is going to work better, your emotions are going to work better, and you'll be able to move yourself from the lower chakras into the higher chakras and find a whole different world of living, of energy, of the way we see the world, of how we relate to one another. There is a big reset coming. It's coming soon. Just don't be fearful about what you see. Don't listen to things that are guiding you in a fearful direction. Find things that are empowering. Find things that are encouraging you to think. Find things that are bringing forward a future that's going to be good, because that's what's going to happen. So I want to just say with that, I thank you so much for listening, and I want to see more than anything all of you really empowered as we move forward. So with that, I'm going to say thank you again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everything that you are out there. And I am going to cheer you on as you begin to explore and find who you are and the power that you really have as a human being. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.